Have you ever hung up the phone after a sales call and just thought, wow, that was really good? You felt like you were part of this perfectly choreographed dance and you were this close to buying. Well, today, we're going to pull back that curtain. We're going to deconstruct a high-conversion Hinglish insurance sales script to really get into the psychology of a perfectly engineered sale. Everything in the script, every single step, builds towards a moment like this. A line that's designed to completely bypass your logical brain and hit you right in the heart. This sentence right here, it reveals the entire strategy. Turn a simple financial decision into a deeply emotional one. And this is where they want to take you. But how they get you there, that's the fascinating part. So here's our game plan. We'll start with a bird's eye view of the entire script. Then we'll zoom in on those critical first 30 seconds. After that, we'll get into the real magic, how need is created out of thin air. Then we'll see how they handle objections. And finally, we'll break down the art of the close. All right, let's jump in. Okay, first things first. You have to understand that this isn't just a list of talking points. No. This is a meticulously engineered 10-step process. Every single step is designed to guide a potential customer both logically and emotionally from that first hello all the way to your payment is complete. And here it is, the entire sales funnel laid out for us. You can see how it flows. It starts with a power opening to build instant trust, moves through rapport and qualification, and then look at step 3, need creation. Notice how that comes before they even mention a product? That's the secret sauce right there. The final stages are all about dismantling any resistance and just sealing the deal. It's a foolproof system. So let's start right at the top. The first 30 seconds of this call are everything. This is the make or break moment where the salesperson has to establish control, build instant rapport, and set the entire tone for the rest of the conversation. Get this wrong, and the call is over before it starts. You know, this opening is a masterclass in efficiency. It's so simple, but so effective. First, it's direct. No mystery about who's calling. I'm Kishan from Tata AIA. Then it's transparent, letting you know why they're calling. But the key is that last part. Can we talk for 2 minutes? It's respectful. It immediately frames the call not as a pushy sales pitch, but as a professional, considerate conversation. Okay, now this is where it gets clever. The salesperson needs to gather all this critical data about you, right? But they don't just ask. They frame it as a quick eligibility check to help find you the best possible plan. Do you see what's happening? They're getting your age, your income, your risk factors, but it feels like they're doing you a favor, not like they're interrogating you for their database. And now we get to the most important move in the entire script. This is where the conversation pivots. It shifts away from all that logical data gathering and dives straight into the emotional core of the sale. This is the moment where the need for insurance is actively manufactured. This one question, it is absolutely brilliant. By asking, what is your main goal, and then giving you these very specific, emotionally charged options, the salesperson forces you to connect the dots. You're no longer thinking about insurance as an abstract product. You're thinking about your family's safety, your kids' future, your own wealth. And depending on what you say, the script instantly forks into 2 different paths. If you picked family protection, boom, they pitch the pure, powerful term plan. But if you mentioned wealth or your child's future, they pivot to a combo product. They're tailoring the solution directly to the emotional need that you literally just handed to them. It's genius. And notice this. When they pitch that term plan, they don't start with the price. They start with this, 1 crore. It's a huge, impactful number that just lands with a thud. It immediately creates this massive sense of value and security, which makes whatever premium they mention next seem tiny in comparison. But of course, no sale is ever that easy. A master script doesn't just cross its fingers and hope for the best. Oh no. It anticipates every single common objection and has a preloaded killer line ready to deploy and neutralize it on the spot. So let's start with the all-time classic, the one we've all probably used at some point. It's just too expensive. Now, a rookie might start arguing about value, but this script is way smarter than that. It doesn't argue, it reframes. It completely changes the psychological scale of the cost. It takes that big, scary monthly or annual number and breaks it down into this, a tiny, almost unnoticeable daily amount. 25 rupees. And here's the final punch. They say, sir, this is roughly 25 to 30 rupees per day. That's less than a cup of coffee, but the protection is for 1 crore. You see that? They contrast a tiny, trivial daily expense with that massive life-changing benefit we saw earlier. the objection just evaporates. Okay, so what about the other classic move, the stall tactic? You know what? Let me think about it, and I'll get back to you. This is where most sales calls go to die. But again, the script has a counter ready to go. Now, this is so important. The response doesn't fight the customer. It agrees with them. Of course, sir. Then it pivots with this soft, disarming question. Just one thing. What doubt do you have about the plan? It's like a surgical tool designed to gently pull the real objection out into the open so it can actually be addressed. All right, we're in the endgame now. The need has been created, the objections have been handled, so the script shifts gears one last time to build this unstoppable momentum that carries the customers straight through to payment. See, the close isn't one big, scary question. It's a rapid-fire sequence of small agreements. It starts with a trial close, something that assumes the sale is already happening, like asking about payment frequency. Then it moves right into a strong close, where the agent just confidently says they're starting the process. And it all ends with a smooth payment push, making it a completely frictionless slide into commitment. And if there's even a tiny bit of hesitation left, they deploy the final psychological trigger. Sir, one last important thing. Premiums keep going up as you get older. If we lock this in today, you'll save a ton of money over the lifetime of the policy. This creates a powerful fear of missing out, a strong nudge to act right now. But here's the thing. The script itself is only half the battle. The real magic is in the delivery. A master closer uses what the source calls on-call body language. They are literally smiling as they speak. You can hear it. Their voice is slow. It's confident. They never sound desperate. And most importantly, they operate from a mindset that assumes the sale is going to happen. That confidence, it's infectious. And looking at all this, it leaves us with a really fascinating question to think about. When a conversation is this perfectly engineered, using these deep psychological triggers to guide a person to a very specific outcome, where do we draw the line between effective persuasion and, well, outright manipulation? It's something worth considering the next time your phone rings.